Hi, my name is Tony Zeoli, founder of Digital Strategy Works, a WordPress consulting and social media marketing and SEO agency here in Asheville, North Carolina, working with local and national clients. This is the WordPress Project Management Insights webcast that I started here on YouTube. It's episode 3, so thanks for joining in. Today, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for the last year or so as I've been working with page builders for WordPress. What is a page builder? Well, in the past, it was relatively difficult, or kind of jumping through a few hoops and ladders, to build complex page layouts in WordPress. You had to hire a developer, and that developer had to be tasked with developing an HTML and CSS page templates, which you could choose in the backend or admin area of WordPress whenever you were building pages. So say you wanted your page to have a grid, say you wanted it to have a featured image, then you wanted it to have 3 columns, then 2 columns, then 1 column, then back to 3 columns of content with titles and excerpts and these kinds of things. You would have to hire developers to build out page templates for each use case that you wanted to deploy in your website. And a few years ago, well, maybe more than a few, maybe 3 to 4 years ago, we started to see these page builder plugins come on the market. Many people know Visual Composer, which has now been renamed WP Bakery, and there's also another one called Beaver Builder out there, and there are a few more that are third-party plugins that are available for purchase and download that will enhance, give you options in your WordPress theme to create these kind of layouts, grids, video backgrounds, a whole host of different features for your website or blog. And those tools are really advanced tools, and they're pretty interesting. But on the other side of the page builder equation is or are the companies that are building a theme framework with a page builder already built in. And we'll go over a couple of those companies as well. And the issue that I have with page builders, I'm going to get into, and there are a few issues that we should investigate before we decide to use or employ page builders on our WordPress sites. So I'm going to switch over to my display here, and I'm going to just show you the homepage of WP Bakery. So WP Bakery created the Visual Composer WordPress plugin, and as you can see, they claim that 2 million people have downloaded and installed Visual Composer for their drag and drop page builder for WordPress. And that's all good and well. I wish them luck, and it's great that they, are out there. And I think what happens is, at this point in the game, is that you can buy a theme from a site like ThemeForest. So, for example, here's Realty Space. Let's just take a look. I was working on this company called Virgin Realty Mexico. They're in Tulum, and we were tasked with Tulum, Mexico, and the Riviera Maya, as you can see from the homepage. And we were tasked with fixing this site. And once I got into the back end of the site, I realized that they were using WP Bakery's Visual Composer. And one of the things that I had to work through was the fact that Realty Space is a real estate WordPress theme that you can find on ThemeForest by Envato. Now, on ThemeForest, you can see the theme is $59. And then it comes with a couple of these WordPress plugins like WPML.org and a few other things that it's compatible with. But one of the things that they promote is the fact that they ship this theme with Slider Revolution, Visual Composer, and Advanced Custom Fields Pro. And they tell you that you're going to have these savings. And while that's great that you save on Visual Composer, $34 on buying Visual Composer, what it doesn't tell you in this promotional section on ThemeForest is that when you get Visual Composer for year one shipped with this Realty Space theme that we again, worked on Virgin Realty Mexico and just shoring up their site when they came to us with some problems. What I learned was that once they had purchased a theme and gotten the download and installed it, then after 1 year, Visual Composer that, like I said, shipped with this is you save $34. It ended up expiring, and you actually had to go back and purchase the page builder again. Well, not again, I should say not again, but you should purchase it. So now the price is $45 for one site, or $245 if you are working, let's say, for use in a single software as a service application, but $45 basically on a single site. So even though Realty Space is saying that they're saving you $34 on Visual Composer, WP Bakery has increased the price to $45, and after year one of using Visual Composer, after year one of I should say, just switch back to me here. After year one of using Visual Composer, all of a sudden your license key for Visual Composer expires, and then you can't get automatic upgrades. That's one thing that we encountered when we were working on the Virgin Realty Mexico website. So I had logged into the admin, I had looked around on the back end, and I saw the installed WP Bakery plugin, but it said, unfortunately, you can't download and update. And it was well out of, or well past, well beyond, needing updating. It was probably like 3 versions behind or 4 versions behind. And I said to the client, geez, you downloaded this theme from ThemeForest. It's supposed to come with Visual Composer, now WP Bakery. What do you want to do? And it just took a few days for him to even understand what I was saying, is that I couldn't upgrade, or I didn't want to work on his site until such time as I could upgrade Visual Composer, find out what new features were available, and then start to work in that site. So that caused an issue, and I think it continues to cause an issue for a lot of people who aren't aware that when these themes like Realty Space are promoting Visual Composer and Beaver Builder, and that they're packaged with and shipping with, that all of a sudden they're going to encounter additional fees. So say, for example, they did Slider Revolution, and we'll go back to that. Say, for example, they did here, Slider Revolution was 19, Visual Composer is 34. So let's see what Slider Revolution is today. Slider Revolution, responsive WordPress slider plugin. What are their costs? Features, templates, about, buy. So regular license from $25. So even at this point, they said it was 19, and now it's 25. So at the end of the year, not only are you going to have to re-up your theme for an additional $59, but you're going to then have to incur, and they haven't changed these, another $25 for Slider Revolution, another $45 for Visual Composer, and whatever Advanced Custom Fields Pro is now, which we won't jump into. So that is kind of the problem that I'm finding with these companies packaging in Visual Composer on ThemeForest with their themes. So I just wanted to kind of call that out to let people know that that's an issue that they're going to face. The second issue that I have with page builder plugins in themes is that, for different themes, is that once you install them, while they are very useful for the novice or the layperson who wants to build complex grids and use all the features, they do, and I've talked to a few really experienced developers about this, cause code bloat. And so if you have a theme that's being developed by, say, some company in Russia, and they're selling it on ThemeForest, and they're not adhering to WordPress coding standards, and you wouldn't know that because you're a novice, and you wouldn't know, well, how does this theme work against Theme Checker? And, does it load fast? Does it have any issues? Is it coded well? And the only way to know that is to really have an experienced developer and maybe run that theme through a themecheck.org theme checker service or something like that, just to find out, is this theme really robust? Is it really well built? And then you add Visual Composer on top of that, which is a very powerful plugin, and it's pretty weighty in terms of its lines of code. And all of a sudden, you're combining two assets that are both potentially bloated and creating a little bit of a monster. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to work for you. But when you then start to try to do your page speed optimization using something like Auto-Optimize or another competing plugin to try to eliminate render blocking JavaScript, or do some CSS above the fold work, then you may run into potential issues because Auto-Optimize isn't going to be able to handle every use case with a theme that adopts Beaver Builder or WP Bakery / Visual Composer as a companion plugin on top of it. And you can certainly run into issues. So what does that mean for me? Where do I stand? Well, after working with some of these tools, I just found that they weren't right for my clients and my process. I'm not saying that they're not right for you and what you're going through and what you might need, but for me, I kind of bet the farm on another theme, which has kind of an integrated page builder, and that company is called Theme Foundry. So Theme Foundry builds the Make Theme framework, and this is their website here. Calls attention to Make. It's mostly for business websites, but you can use it for just about anything, content publishing, these kinds of things. Chris Lima, who a lot of people know as one of the top WordPress experts in the country, he uses it. Wired Magazine uses it. WP Tavern uses it. OS Training, Post Status. So a lot of great people, including myself, Digital Strategy Works, use the Theme Foundry's Make Theme framework. And this is an example of their page builder. So instead of adding this as a plugin, their page builder is actually part and parcel to the theme. So they're working on the theme and the page builder together. And that means that they can better integrate the code. And when you want to do page speed optimization or install a plugin like Advanced Custom Fields, this company is building a theme and a page builder combined that work together in tandem. And so the code for the theme and the code for the page builder are one and the same code within the same theme that you've installed. Sure, they have the Make Plus add-on, which works with WooCommerce, which helps you advance your theme to work with WooCommerce and a few other advantages. But overall, this theme Make and by the Theme Foundry and Make Plus are just a really good integrated theme and page building plugin that you may find far more useful. I'm really excited about Make. I've been working with the Make team for maybe 4 to 5 years now, and they know me. That's another thing about themes and plugins. You really want to work with high quality themes and plugins where you have a relationship with the developers through their support channels. I can't stress that enough. The guys from Make know me now. They know when I have a question, they get back to me right away. They know that I'm a serious consultant. They know that I'm working with WordPress every day. And so we've built a good relationship through the support, their support network to support my clients and my work on WordPress. So, that's pretty much why I have stayed clear of these third-party Beaver Builder and Visual Composer plugins. Like I said, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater here. If you really need to use WP Bakery or Beaver Builder because it serves your client base and it serves your ability, the level that you're at, then by all means, use those tools. But just know that you've got those two big issues. One is the cost issue when things come up for renewal and you need to get new license keys and change those out in either the one client you have, or maybe you've got 5 different clients and all 5 clients are going to need 5 different license keys because that's just the way it is. Or you've got the issue of the change in costs, and you've got the issue of the page bloat that it could cause when you've got a theme that you're working with that already may have a page builder. I actually saw that. I saw someone, and I'll show you this. Avada is a very popular theme framework now. Avada with Fusion, and it's funny because I had a client come to me a couple weeks ago, and they had an Avada theme, and somebody, even though Fusion is the page builder for Avada, somebody had installed Visual Composer along with Avada and Fusion, which mystified me because Avada already has Fusion, so why do you need Visual Composer? So that's another mistake, people might make, and you want to watch out for, is that if you have a make theme framework by Theme Foundry, there's really no reason to install WP Bakery or Beaver Builder or any other competing plugin. Everything that you can do in those plugins, you could potentially do in Make as well. So it really makes sense for you to investigate, before you start investing in these tools. If you don't investigate, then you're going to run into issues, like I said, where you might need multiple license keys for multiple client sites. You might have code bloat. You might have other problems that you encounter. There are so many features and so many add-ons to Beaver Builder and Visual Composer that sometimes you just don't need all of that. And so I thought to simplify and stick with one group, one company, Theme Foundry, in my work, so that not only do I stick with Theme Foundry, I have a developer account. So that means I can install Make on as many sites as I want with my developer account, and only have one license key, and never have to buy additional license keys for all those sites out there in the networks that I'm building. So that is my synopsis today of Visual Composer, Beaver Builder. Here's Beaver Builder. Let me see. This is Beaver Builder if you want to see what that looks like. So Beaver Builder says they have awesome support, great support, helpful community. Now, I do know one local developer who loves using Beaver Builder, but then I have my developers in the world here. One's in New York and one's in Berlin, and both of them despise these page builders because they can do a lot of this stuff themselves. And when I showed them the Make theme framework, they really thought it was an elegant solution to the problem. And we didn't really butt up against an argument where they had said to me, hey, Tony, we don't really want to use a page builder. They looked at the Make theme framework and how it's all integrated and said, this is really the way that you should do it. Again, don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You might want to use Beaver Builder or Visual Composer for whatever it is that you need, just because that's the only thing that you have available to you, and that's maybe what's been recommended. Maybe that's what your developer is using, But the questions to ask again are on cost, are around code bloat, and are around renewals. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me on WordPress Project Management Insights. Once again, I'm Tony Zeoli. You can go to digitalstrategyworks.com or Tony Zeoli, tonyzeoli.com to follow me. I'm also out there on Twitter at Tony Zeoli or at DSWKS, and you can find us on Facebook as well. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back again soon with another episode of WordPress Project Management Insights. Thanks for tuning in.